Bobby Womack just passed.
Yes.
What's your favorite Bobby Womack? Was it the Facts of Life?
Facts of Life.
That was my favorite. I want to say it's weird when somebody does so much work that you somehow feel like you should be able to pick the moment that was the best, but that's not the way it works. We're judged by how we did it from the rooter to the tutor, and
talk about it.
If you're a musical artist, it's not whether you were hot right then, it was whether the body of work that you put out as a person reached people in ways that mattered. And if Bobby Womack didn't do it, then who did it? Because he didn't get paid off the way everybody else did, and he didn't get all the perks that a lot of people get. But he made that music, and it resonates then and now, and he was making that music knowing that one day he wasn't going to be here. He just wanted to make sure that when he left something so solid that we would feel good about playing it, and that's where we are today. Now, if there was any way possible he could be in a bad place, I'd probably feel differently about it, but we all know where he is, and so who don't want him to be there? I'm glad he's there. I would have traded with him because I'm selfish. I could have went today. That would have been cool. But our brother went, and that's beautiful, and he left us everything he had, and that's the measure of an artist. So if you don't know nothing about Bobby Womack, then please make yourself familiar. He did enough work that whether you feeling hurt or you feeling in love or you feel like you don't even know what love is, or if you dealing with issues that we deal with in the workplace, he discussed all those things, and that's why the Marvin Gayes and the Bobby Womacks and the icons of the game are there, not because of what their record sales were or what their favorite shoe was or how many interviews they did or whether there was a 106 or whether there was a Park or whether there was a BET or whether it was owned by Viacom. Did you make a stranger feel something? Because if you did that, that's the job.
Me, I personally, I moved out when I was 15, and I've been on my own, and I know that you moved out at around 13.
Yes, ma'am.
And you moved to Florida from Cincinnati, correct?
From Dayton, actually.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
I was born in Cincinnati, you're right.
Yeah, and you got some, some vendors or whatever, what you were doing to support yourself at a young age?
Well, the streets and women in particular have always, with God's help, covered me when I just didn't have any other options. And so I try not to tell the story very much just because I'm not really trying to let kids hear it and think it might be something cool to do, because it's not. Like, there's really no 13-year-old that is qualified to be in the real world by themselves under any circumstances whatsoever.
I like that.
But my circumstances were extenuating, and I was me. And so I was counting on God to cover me, and I was so stupid that I thought that he would. And he has ever since. But he used people that he shouldn't have used. So it was dudes who were crackheads that were telling me at 13, I'm asking them, so tell me your story, and how did you get here, living here? And they're telling me, I used to be a doctor, and I had all of this, and they're telling me about their life and their wife and their children and how they went to school, and they're telling me all of this, and I go, well, how did you end up here? And they go, cocaine.
Yeah.
And they're telling me at 13, so I don't know that there's a party side of it. I don't know that people are having a good time with it. All I know is all these people that's messed up is telling me what not to do. And those were the streets that covered me. And then when I was 17, I was selling stuff door to door, and I went to a house. And
what you was selling door to door?
I was selling magazines at the time, and it was 5. They opened the door, and there was 5 women in there, and it was just sobbing uncontrollably. And they just opened the door and just went back and sat down and kept crying. And I just walked in, and I was just dumbfounded that they didn't care that there was a stranger in the house. They were just crying their heart, and they said that their pimp had just got shot in the head in front of them, and they didn't know what they was gonna do. And I said, well, I don't know what to do, but if you could tell me what to do, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And so those 5 women made Katt Williams.
A grown man.
Every conversation that 5 women would have at a table, them is the conversations they had with me. And everything that they didn't like about men, I'm saying, it's automatic for me to leave the toilet seat down. Like it couldn't be up if I wanted it to be up. My body automatically knocks it down. Because that's what they hate. They hate nasty, trifling. They hate. And so they just trained me to not be that. And so now, that was God that put prostitutes in my life to guide me.
Well, the thing is, when you're a young age, you could be molded, and you know, I've been through so many experiences too, just going on the journey and saying, okay, I'm here, I'm going to try to figure it out, and life kind of takes you and teaches you and brings you where you need to be. You find out what you love to do along the way, but... Yeah,
and I had already been accepted to college at the time. So it wasn't like I was a regular 13-year-old. I knew where I was. I saw my scores.
You were doing schooling even at the same time?
No. They were just giving me the test.
Well,
And he passed it.
how through this that you found your talent, your true talent? How through this that you found it? I mean, I know as a pimp you had to be serious.
Hey, we're not.
You have to be dedicated.
I didn't. I did it the other way.
You didn't pass the test.
No. I didn't know the rules, so I passed another test.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
So
right.
y'all was on the street corner.
Right.
I never was on the street corner.
Okay.
I couldn't be.
Right.
Where I was
Inside
I was in that closet. And so she doing him on the bed.
Okay.
So now, as long as everything's fine, everything's fine. I don't want to come out the closet.
Well,
but if I come out the closet,
right. I know what you mean. You was gonna take it to the next level.
That's
so
right.
so tell me though, how did between
comedy,
that
how the
and
comedy,
comedy, yeah,
Okay.
what was so funny about the pimping?
No, nothing. It didn't happen like that. What happened was that happened, but I'm not doing it for the money that's coming off of it. I'm doing it because that was the situation I was put in. And so now I'm realizing that there's not enough money for the amount of things that can happen bad in this situation.
Right, I understand.
So I can't keep working them out this apartment. They need to be going to a club. That means I'm out now. And now, well, no, this is too much. So I asked God, can he give me something that I can do that's not related to this street side? Because at this point, I've already went to the Marine Corps. I already passed Camp Lejeune. I already was inducted into the Marine Corps. And when they let me get inducted, then they tell me, we know you're too young. Now go and get out of here, but we're proud of you. Hoorah! Simplify.